Hi everyone! Today is a very special day for me. Today is the day I finished my sketchbook. Now this might not sound like that big of a deal to most of you, but this is the first time that I've finished a sketchbook since pretty much I started using sketchbooks. So that's like 6 or 7 years of not finishing sketchbooks, which is bad. So I'm going to be doing a little flip through of my sketchbook, but before I do, I'm going to be talking a little bit about my battle with sketchbooks and how that plays a part in me battling my art block. So I hope that that's helpful for anybody battling art blocks, whether that may be for drawing or writing or making music or whatever it is. If you have no interest in that, check the description below. I've put a little link for you to skip to the part where I actually get to the flipping of the sketchbook. But for everybody else, here is my sketchbook story. I literally have a huge pile of sketchbooks. So here's the first sketchbook I ever had. This was made back in like 2006, I think. I was in 6th grade. For anybody who's wondering, this is what my art looked like back then. Oh, it gets worse. So as you can see, the first sketchbook I got was a pretty cheap one. I mean, it like pages are falling out. I could literally grab them and throw them across the room, but I'm not going to do that. The next sketchbook I got, the next few that I got afterwards, were all in this style. They've got goats in the front. Everybody asked me if I drew them. I didn't draw them. They're printed. They're printed. I didn't draw the goats. And it's pretty thick paper. You're not gonna be able to tell. Just trust me. It's thick paper. You know, it's quality. It's not gonna like smudge. It's not gonna wrinkle that easily. And I was all into that. I was like, ooh, it's fancy art supplies. That means I'll draw better, right? I also didn't know how to draw guys, apparently. What is that? What is he doing? Anyway, so I continued with the same series of sketchbooks for a time, and this one's from 2008, I think. And this continued up until my senior year of high school, which was the year before last. I'm about to go into my sophomore year of college, just to get the timeline straight. This is the same goat sketchbook as before. I just spray painted the cover because I was really, really tired of people asking me if I had drawn the goats. They're printed that way. I didn't draw them. I started to develop this mentality that every one of the pages were precious, right? Like, it was like the pages were so thick and well made, like I couldn't waste them. And I was supposed to draw full pictures all the time. Now, this resulted in me starting a lot of pictures, but then not finishing them because I always thought, well, I can't really, like, play around. Like, I have to, like, put an idea into motion, which isn't really true for sketches. It is for full pictures, but not sketches, not sketchbooks. This also resulted in this weird phenomenon that a lot of people face where you see a blank canvas and get really panicked because it's like so many expectations. This has to be perfect. I can't waste this page. This has to be a unique and magnificent idea, and it can't be anything less. So this is my senior year sketchbook, and a lot of the art in here is very stiff because I never let myself just play around. I never let myself just sketch. So a whole page would be devoted to one picture. It's not like the artwork in the sketchbook is bad, it's just the spirit behind it was very, very lacking. A lot of like cool ideas too that I just never finished because I pressured myself into perfection, and then I got scared and I stopped drawing. Like, what should I draw? What should I draw? Like, I don't know. I can't think of anything. It's not gonna be perfect. What'll I do? Eventually, I noticed the trend. I was hardly drawing, and I was like, this is not good. This isn't a good relationship to have with a sketchbook. So I got a new sketchbook. I got this really flimsy looking sketchbook, and obviously it's very flimsy, like the cover's falling off. Pages are super thin, super smudgy. And I was thinking, if the pages are shit, I won't feel so bad if I waste them. And so I let myself relax a bit, but also not. I decided that it would be a cool idea to make myself draw every single day. There's a thing called the 365-day project for photographers. They take cool pictures every single day. So I was like, I'm gonna do that for sketches, and that'll make me draw more. And so I did that for a good while. There was less and less hesitation to start a drawing, and it was awesome. The problem with this sketchbook was, since it was every day, and since I had a really heavy schedule my senior year, I ended up not getting a lot of time to draw. So most days I would allow myself like 15 minutes or so to draw every day, but then some days I would go to bed, I'd be so tired, and I'd be about to fall asleep. Out of nowhere, I'd wake back up and be like, I didn't draw. And I get really sad and really like disappointed in myself because I didn't draw on a day. And it's not because I like personally wanted to draw in a day. It was because I had put this sort of like this expectation on myself every single day. Drawing became a chore and I lost fuel for it. Not only that, but a lot of the times like my everyday drawing would be like a tiny little doodle, or like I would work on the same drawing and just add more details every day and call that my everyday drawing, which didn't really help for my creativity. It just filled a daily requirement. So I ended up letting myself off of the 365-day project, but then I lost steam for the sketchbook that I was working on. Like I would sit down to draw and I'd get really like unmotivated. Like why do I want to add something to something I'm not really proud of? So you guessed it, I got a new sketchbook. This is the one that I did finish. I gave myself the goal to make things that I was proud of, so I put a lot of work and a lot of effort into all of my sketches, which then ended up putting a lot of pressure on myself yet again. So I was about to get a new sketchbook, get another fresh start, and I stopped and I was like, this is the same thing that I've been doing for ages. Losing steam on a sketchbook, not finishing it, and moving on to the next one. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to give up on the sketchbook. Even if I'm not proud of the previous pages, I'm just going to keep going and make something that I'm proud of for the second half. I saw somebody post a picture on Twitter and it was like this sketchbook page just like full of all these different sketches, and it was like every single corner was just a new person, a new pose, and I was like, I would love for my sketchbook to look like that. And so I cut out the expectation that every single page and every drawing has to be neat and organized. I started overlapping drawings, coloring them all messy, not giving a fuck how finished or complete the sketches were. I would write notes to myself. I would play with pastels in my sketchbook, which got pretty messy, but it's fun. And I just realized the main goal of my sketchbook was to have fun. It doesn't have to be a full complete drawing on every page. It doesn't have to be anything. It's just a place for you to just put your brain down. The biggest thing that I did for myself was to let go of the expectations and the goals that I had. And I still have my problems with art. I still have a ways to go. I'm always going to have room for improvement. It gets easier, I guess. Everyone has different reasons for their art blocks, but I think that they come from the same place. If you're an artist, get a sketchbook. Make it your best friend. Don't do it because you have to, because why are you drawing? Because you want to. If somebody else is making you draw, punch them in the face with love. Because this is your heart. It's your passion. It shouldn't be anybody else's. It should be your own thing. If your reason for your art block is because you're not good enough, well, if like that doesn't make sense to me. Like, you're never going to be good enough if you think that you're not good enough right now. When are the expectations just going to magically go away? Like, in a year? In a month? They're never going to. So if your art block is because of a lack of skill, just keep drawing. The fear goes away. The expectations go away. The lack of skill goes away if you just keep drawing. And this is applicable to any creative outlet. Anyone. If you're a musician, keep writing music. If you're a writer, keep a journal next to your bed and write every single night. It doesn't have to be a masterpiece every single time you make something. Like, that's not the point. That's not why we keep sketchbooks and journals. Just make your sketchbook your best friend. Get rid of the expectations. Make a million things. Don't ever stop making them. If you feel really frightened every single time you open up a sketchbook, like, that's not going to go away by avoiding sketchbook. If you're not good enough right now, like, keep drawing. You're going to get better. I promise. That's how it works. And if you're like, I don't know, like sad or anxious every single time you start drawing, like, this happens to me a bunch. If you start drawing and like midway through you're like, oh god, I'm hopeless, and you throw the sketchbook, I'm hopeless, I'm the worst artist ever, this looks like shit. Like, stop. Whoa, friend, calm down. It's okay. Every single drawing that ever existed or ever will exist will, I guarantee you, will look like shit at one point or another. Keep going. It's fun. Have fun with it. That's the biggest thing. Have fun. Like, why else would you be making art if it wasn't fun? Make it fun. That's my rant for the day. If you don't have a sketchbook, go and get one. If you don't like your sketchbook, make it something that you like. Don't pressure yourselves. You're beautiful. You're talented. You're skilled. You're an artist. Never, ever give up on yourselves. Promise me that. Alright? Yep? Oh, okay, we're good. Without further ado, here's my sketchbook. So here we go. I hope that you enjoyed my little sketchbook flip through. If you did watch the first part of the video, I hope that it was helpful to you, and I hope you feel all empowered to go and get your little sketchbooks and draw your little masterpieces. Be sure to comment with your favorite page or pages, and I will compile all of the best ones into a big huge sketch dump and put it onto DeviantArt. It'll be awesome. If you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you would like to see more art videos and more gaming videos, please hit the subscribe button. I will send you lots of love if you do. Any comments, questions, concerns, comments below. I love you all. Thank you so much for watching.